feel so... Thanks. Thank you, mother. How's it going, guys? So yeah, I'm feeling a bit ill. If you can't tell, I just feel really, really ill. But I thought, you know what, let's just make a video anyway, because it is Saturday and I owe you guys a video. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys, or telling you guys about a group of guys who actually kept me alive and sane, and yeah, through my first 2 years of high school. Let me just tell you who these people are, you know? First we have Jana. Now, Jana was that guy in the group that was always clueless about what was going on. We could be standing talking for about 20 minutes or so, and Jana was standing right there. But at the end of the conversation, he'd be like, what? But he was a really funny guy. He still is a funny guy. I see you, Jana. Next we have Hagos. Hagos was the blackest Korean I've ever seen. But he was also the guy in the group that was the muscle of the group, if that makes sense. If you saw him, he'd be like this. Another fun fact about Hagos, don't make him angry. For those of you who are watching who have had Hagos hate you, you can tell people how it feels, because he's a really nice guy, but if he gets angry, that's just another level that you don't want to be on. He's like the Hulk. He turns into like some creature. Next we have Jewett. Now, Jewett was in this group of 4. Like, there were 4 Koreans in that group. Jewett, Jangwon, Chanyang, and Luke. Basically, those 4 guys were the abusers of the group. Those guys, I don't even know how they did it. They would walk to you and they could just hit you. And what are you going to do about it? Nothing. There's sometimes when even Hagos was scared of him, and like I said before, guy has muscles. But they were really nice guys if you got to know them, and really caring. They also had really nice food, which they had small portions of it, but they would still share it with all of us, which is amazing because the food was just no. Next we have Michael. I met Michael in 6th grade and he did not know English. Funny story, I was asking him what he does for fun. He said, I play the piano. I said, the piano? He said, yeah, the piano. And that was the time when he didn't really know English, but I mean now he's fine. And freshman year, I'm sure all of these guys can agree with me when I say this, but freshman year, Michael was rarely, it was freshman year, was rarely ever there because of a certain human being that was in his life. Michael, sophomore year, just came after summer. He organized things. He had people at his house. You know, he became very social, which is good. Next, Luke. Luke was part of that group of 4 Koreans that abused. Like, they knew they were strong and all that, so they used it well. But a funny story that most people don't know, in 6th grade, he came to visit. This was before he was a student at Belgium. He came to visit, and I was assigned to walk him around, you know, take him through the day. Now, during the day, we're sitting in class, and this was before he was a student. Luke posted something on my back that was a sticky tack thing, and the teacher saw it. So Luke managed to get in trouble at Roslyn before he was even a student. What a legend. Next, MG. MG, when he came, was the most American boy. And let me just be honest, and we all know it, Those were the days of Fat MG. Now, MG came, he was this, you know, this Apple guy. He knew everything Apple. And his clothes, American Eagle, you know, proper American. He went from being this American boy to this guy who can get anywhere in Kenya, and he's super social, and yeah. For all of you who think you're large, you can make it. MG Kathesha is the perfect example. Next, Jangwon Choi. Jangwon, when he first came, he was really proud of, you know, I've just come from Madagascar. Keep in mind, he's Korean. He's really quiet. The first 2 years when I was at school, he was really quiet. But somehow, whenever we did things, he ended up there. You know, it's one of those things where you don't expect this person to be paying attention, but then in reality they actually are. So he would show up, and nobody complained, but it was kinda odd. Jangwon, if you're watching, that's kinda odd. Next, Chan Yang. He was a bit, how do I say this without sounding rude? He was a bit, I'm saying he was a bit, but when I played football with him, he was so proud of it. He was like, yeah, look at my 2 kgs. He wasn't fat. He wasn't fat and fat. He wasn't, you know, he wasn't big to the point where it's hard for him to do things. Because he played football, he did basketball. But he always made fun of his own, like, chubbiness, if I can call it that. Next, Andy. Now, back then, you guys know who Andy is, he shows up all the time. Back then, he lived who knows even where, what even. And he was probably the hardest person to contact. He was rarely on Facebook. Those were the days when Facebook, you know, Facebook was the thing where people would contact each other. Andy lived so far away and rarely had internet that if he wanted to do something, he had to sleep on this side of town. No joke. Next, D-Ray. Now, let me tell you about D-Ray. D-Ray was the guy in the group that everybody made fun of. Even the guys who were made fun of D-Ray. And when D-Ray tried to make a comment back, they would just turn it down, just shut it down completely. The guy is super hilarious. 6 foot tall as a 12-year-old. He's just a giant, just was. He was pretty shocking at Uno. Every time we played Uno, he just didn't win. Even when we played at his house, he just didn't win. So, we'll have to work on that when you come back, dearie. But Uno is a game of mind, strength, and just a game. Good game, even actually, by the way. Next, Luca. Okay. So, as many of you guys know, most of my videos, some of my videos, I troll this guy hardcore. It's not like I'm going to stop. You know what? I'm just gonna show you a photo of him back in the day, just because I can. There's a photo of him. Now, he hates those photos, and he's gonna hate me for showing that. But you know what? I do it for you guys. Next, Eliezer. As he used to call himself, King Ellie. He always had a way of getting home, which was really interesting because he lived pretty far. Always, you know, was ready for any situation. Always carried 1 pencil, 1 pen in his pocket. That's all he needed for school, and he was fine. Did he ever have a phone? As far as I know, no, because I never had his number. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Now, we talked about this. We talked about this. If you give it a thumbs down, tell me why, somehow. I see you. That 1 thumbs down in all my videos. But anyway, if you do give it a thumbs down, just tell me why. I will see you guys next week, and have a good week and week. Bye.